Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be talking about how to stay relaxed while sprinting. Before I get into the video though, I want to talk about why staying relaxed is so important. It's because when you're sprinting, similar to like how there's yin and yang generally in the world, you have to turn on and off your muscles. You have to turn on your posterior chain and turn off your posterior chain, switch to your anterior chain with every single time you lift your leg up and down, and you switch with your arms and everything as well. Hence, it's extremely important you stay relaxed, because if you don't stay relaxed, if you tense up, what's going to end up happening is when muscles are supposed to be switched off, they're turned on, and the muscles that are supposed to be on are going to have to resist those muscles because they are moving in the opposite direction. For example, your quadricep is trying to straighten out your leg, whilst your hamstring, which would result in you basically landing in front of you, whilst your hamstrings and your glutes and everything else in your I think your posterior trying to pull you backwards. So what's ended up happening is you're squeezing your quadriceps whilst everything's trying to go that way. So what that's going to result in is extra energy usage to resist the quadriceps that shouldn't even be turned on at this point. They will be turned on eventually, but not at this point. Meaning more energy is going to be used, you're going to end up running slower, and it's just a waste of time, and your tendons won't be able to fire as efficiently as they're supposed to be, which is why we have to stay relaxed. Now, how do you actually stay relaxed? Well, that's really simple. All you really need to do is 4 things. And it might seem like a lot, but in reality, it can be simplified down into 2. And this is essentially, you're just going to be split in between your legs and your upper body, So obviously you want to maintain everything else you normally do, like keeping your core tight and everything. But with your arms, what you want to do is when you want to pull your arm back, you want to squeeze your triceps and keep your shoulders down. Squeeze your triceps, keep your shoulders down, and then pull from where your elbow is and shoot your arm back. And then relax and pull forwards with your bicep. That's how you're going to deal with your arms. For your legs, what you want to do is squeeze your hips. For all of this, by the way, you just want to tap each time. So it's like tricep, bicep. Yeah, and then for your legs, it's squeeze of your hips and then squeeze the opposite leg. So squeeze this leg hip, for example, squeeze left leg's hip, squeeze the right leg's glute, and then switch. So it's left hip, right glute to right hip, left glute, and you just switch, tap each time, 1 2 1 2. And the faster you can get this 1 2 down, the faster your stride frequency is going to be as well. And as long as you've got your form correct and you're sprinting properly, your stride length shouldn't suffer, as long as, in this case, you focus on your arms. So now let's get into like how to make sure the stride frequency, stride length is maintained, because I think it's actually quite interesting. So to maintain stride length, I made a video on it. It's all in your arms. The further apart you can get your arms, the further apart your legs are going to be. They're going to follow, which means you need to make sure you stay in full range of motion. No matter how fast you want to go, make sure you stay in full range of motion. There's no point in going extremely fast, like 4 steps per second, if you're making tiny choppy steps. I've gone 4 steps per second, which, by the way, is close to the... Actually, no, it's not 4 seconds, 4.5, which is the exact amount that Olympians are running. These are sub-10 sprinters. I've done 4.5 seconds before, and I got a 24-second time for the 200. There's not much point in being able to have a high stride frequency if you're not going anywhere. However, if you were to have that same stride frequency, but incorporate full stride length, on the other hand, now we're going to be going places. So for your arms, it's very important that when you squeeze each time, you make sure it's in full range of motion, so your stride length stays wide, whilst with your legs, you tap again to focus on your stride frequency. Legs will be the stride frequency, arms will be the stride length. And the faster you can get the stride frequency whilst maintaining the arms, the faster you're going to go, and the further down the track you're going to go, and the lower your PBs are going to be. As long as you're doing all of this, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be able to use your tendons as efficiently as possible, which is going to allow, because now you're relaxed and you're not turning on muscles that shouldn't be turned on, or trying to fire muscles instead of your tendons. What's going to happen is whilst you're sprinting, your tendons are going to do the majority of the work, and you're just going to spring off the floor. This might be a new feeling. You might think you were using your tendons before, and you were, but you weren't using it to the same degree you would be using it now. Obviously, you're not going to be able to achieve this first time around, especially if you're still a quad dominant sprinter. I have a video on how to fix quad dominance that I recommend you go checking out in all of my videos, because if you can fix that and switch to using your hips and being hip dominant, this video will be more useful because it should be a relatively easy fix. For the arms, obviously quite easy. You can practice that anytime you want. Just go like that, and you want to make sure you go through full range of motion. I have a video on how to I think it's like widen your stride length, where I actually talk about your arm mechanics so you can properly understand how to move your arms as well. And for the legs, obviously I have that other video on how to switch from quads to hips and how to actually turn on your hips and your glutes in another video, which I don't remember the name of. But as long as you're able to fix all of this and just bring it to the upper body stays relaxed and leg stays relaxed, what's going to end up happening is you're just going to go much faster, because most likely the speed you think is your maximum isn't. You're able to travel much further than you think you are, because most likely your start is like good enough, like you're like 40 meters, 50, you're all right, maybe even 60, but onwards you tend to get past. This is purely because everyone else is most likely using their tendons to a better degree than you are, or maybe their tendons are stronger than yours, in which case there isn't much we can really do other than prepare next season by doing more plyometrics. But in an equal field, the person who stays the most relaxed whilst maintaining their form, which is what I really want you to do in this, make sure you maintain your arm form, your leg form, and you just stay relaxed. Just fire like that. Sprinting is supposed to be ballistic and high velocity movement, so making sure you stay like that, but you stay relaxed and you don't turn on what shouldn't be turned on, is how you're going to end up sprinting faster. If you like my video, like the video, let me know in the comment section below. Check the description, because anything I forget to say in the video, I always put in the description. And if you like my content, subscribe. Helps the channel out a lot. I post every 2 days at 1 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. If you don't know when that is, just hit the bell and then you'll be notified instantly.